All right, hello everybody, and welcome to a very impromptu process video in real time of a digital caricature commission. This is going to be a little family photo. We've got a couple and their fur baby. And this is from Kay on Ko-fi, so thank you very much, Kay, for the commission. They went ahead and took advantage of a holiday sale that I do where you can pay whatever you can with the minimum price of $3. And so they got some colored caricature faces to make a little family photo out of. So when it comes to the digital caricatures, I do have a little bit of extra wiggle room to play around and really get the placement right. They're a tiny bit more freeing than a standard caricature on paper that I'm doing on the fly. Because when I'm doing them on paper, I have to keep in mind like how long it's taking, and I want to make sure that I don't put myself in a position where I would have to start over. Whereas with digital caricatures, while I do still try to not undersketch them too terribly much, I can, move things around easier. So they're a lot of fun. And I can really play around with like my style and things like that. I have a little extra time on my hands when I get a digital commission to make it extra cute. I'm going to start with the dog because I'm more accustomed to drawing people than animals, but cartooning animals has, I've been getting better at it with learning how to do caricatures because every now and then people want their pets involved, and who am I to deny them? I know how to draw animals. It's just a matter of doing it over and over again until I actually like what I'm looking at. Most of the time, the guests that I draw their pets for also enjoy what they're looking at. But me, if I don't like it, I just got to keep my mouth shut and hope that they do sometimes. However, now I've gotten a lot better. I find it easier to draw the fluffy dogs, such as this one, because I think they have a lot more wiggle room with the shapes. In this picture, this little guy has a party hat, so I'm going to give him a Santa hat since this was ordered during a holiday sale. I'm going to give him a little Santa hat. Or her. I'm sorry if I misgendered your dog. We're going to give the fur baby a Santa hat. There we go. Because I did not ask them if it's a boy or girl. And in my commission thing, they didn't tell me, but that's okay. I just like to ask because sometimes I will give the girls cute little eyelashes. Because how else are you supposed to tell that it's a girl dog? Looking at you, Disney. Anyway, since this is colored faces, I'm going to omit most of the body. We'll give our little fur baby here some fluff. We'll give him the little bone collar. And we're going to call it a day on that and sketch in our couple. But I do want the dog to be a little more in between them. Pets on top, always. I like to put the pets just like poking their head out from the top of the couples. It has become my thing. They're just so cute like that. My pencil's a little stiff. So I think I have I don't have any stabilization turned on. Wow. Okay, maybe I'm just stiff. Love that for me. We're gonna go after this man's cheeks. He's got a nice square-ish type of face. Easy to make a shape out of. We gotta get the gauges, always. And we did a really good job with this commission at sending in pictures that are clear and have nice big smiles. So that's a bonus. That's going to make my life easier. I'm putting in too much detail in my sketch. I need to just... That'll happen a lot. My brain will just go on like blackout drawing mode, and I'll find myself doing like the mustache or just random things that I don't need to do right away that I can save for the line art, such as changing the line weight for his glasses, but that's okay. Whatever gets it done. Whatever gets the drawing done is all that matters. He's got a little hat, little cap. I'm gonna give his cap some Christmas lights. We're gonna keep the holiday fun going. And then let's block in where his eyebrows are gonna be. He's got some chunky eyebrows. Block in where his beard will go, and not actually drawing in the beard, but just blocking it in. And then we'll line that in later. He's kind of got a lazy eye, but not intentionally. I want to fix that because he does not have a lazy eye in the photo. If I have ever given you guys a caricature, or if you've ever gotten a caricature from me and you think you have a lazy eye, you don't. It's just something that my hand does to everybody. I'm trying to work on my on-the-fly facial structure. We're always learning, but I have had people been like, do I have a lazy eye? And I'm like, no, that's just where my hand will put the eye slightly lower sometimes. I gotta reassure them. I'm like, no, I promise you don't have a lazy eye. All right, we're gonna sketch in the lady of the house. If I read the message right, I believe this was sent in by, yes, so these two are married and this is their dog. So Miss K sent this in as, I'm hoping, what will be a cute little surprise gift. So by the time you guys are seeing this video, it's probably after Christmas. Everything has been squared away, or at least I've, contacted Kay and been like, hey, can I post this? I just figured I would record it for fun because I'm killing time and knocking this out, and I have a new camera stand, so I was like, I should use it. We can use it in this way. We've got a nice, cute little heart, kind of heart-shaped smile. And I love that they both have glasses. I love drawing glasses. Every time I have somebody who's like, should I take my glasses off? I'm gonna tell you no. So if you ever want to take your glasses off, you're getting a caricature from me. Don't ask me if you should take them off, because I'm going to tell you to keep them on. If you want them off, you just take them off, because I'm not going to give you a choice if you ask me about it. I love drawing glasses. When I first started doing caricatures, I was a little intimidated by glasses. I was like, how do I make these look good? But now that I've figured it out, I'm like, sheesh, these are fun. Glasses and eyelashes, I have learned, are like my favorite things in the world to draw on people. Even if a lady doesn't have big old eyelashes, I will be honoring girlhood and I will be giving you some eyelashes, because it is unfair the amount of boys I have seen with luscious lashes and then their girlfriend gets in the chair and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna swap. Because if I put eyelashes on a guy, in these caricatures. They always just are like, oh, I look like a girl, so I don't. But when it comes to the girls, I could put however many eyelashes I want, and they're like, oh my gosh, my lashes, they look so good. So that's the validation I seek in life now. Long wavy hair, always fun to play with. It's a good time. Okay, so they're blocked in. And we're gonna scooch them down a little bit, make them fill up a little more of the page. But not in a way that they're getting cut off. And there we have the sketch. Step 1 is done. If I were doing this in person, this much sketching would not happen, but like I said, with the digital ones, I can have a little bit more fun. I can, you know, I'm not really on a time limit with the digital ones, although I do try to keep them fast just to keep my chops up. But here's the sketch. This is how much sketching I'll do on a digital one. If I were sketching on paper, it probably would have just been those 3 circles that I started with, and then maybe a little extra under sketching for the dog because I'm not as confident with my animals as I am with my people. But there's the sketch. So the next course of action here is lowering that sketch to the back and doing the line work. So I am using a Max Pack brush. It's from the Essential Max Pack, and it is the Toothy Inker. One of my faves. I really only use like 3 brushes when I'm doing these. I need to make a folder, but they're mostly Max Packs brushes. And I'm just gonna go left to right. So I'm gonna start with our leading lady here. And now the line art is actually gonna happen way easier. Compared to if I would have just like not undersketched it. This is also probably where the commentary is going to get slow because I've got my sketch in. So now rather than thinking, I'm just kind of drawing things out now. I'm just tracing over the sketch. Fill in her glasses. Actually give them some eyeballs. Right now they're just eye sockets. They look a little scary in the beginning, but that's okay. It's not done till it's done. As I have to tell so many people in person when I'm doing this in a theme park or at markets. I gotta be like, trust the process. It's not done till it's done. I'm gonna swap in some gray for her glasses. It's kind of a greenish gray, but that's okay. That's another fun thing about the digital caricatures is I have room to change the line colors. I'm still kind of learning how to work with different line colors on paper, but with digital I can just be like, oh, you know, I'm gonna draw with brown here, or I'm gonna draw with gray on these glasses, and it adds a cute little touch and saves me time in the coloring process rather than having to like go in and then color something gray, such as the outline of her glasses. I could just do it right here and now, and then I won't have to worry about it later. Why are you... Okay, there we go. Move that eyebrow over there. And even like little things like this, I can make sure that my proportions I'm going for are a little more accurate. we go. That's a little better. I didn't flip the canvas there, but I could tell by looking at it that I needed to, and that's why I was changing the jaw shape a little bit. I think the hardest thing about these is that I really try not to use too much stabilization hacks with my line work, because not having it, I feel like, just kind of brings more life to the caricatures instead of them being like perfect line weight, you know, super smooth lines the entire time. Because when I'm doing this, I'm kind of trying to mimic my style on paper, and clearly my style on paper doesn't have a stabilization feature when I'm using my marker. So I think taking the stabilization out, my stabilization on the ink pen is only at like 34, which for Procreate still kind of does a lot. But for example, this section right here of her jawline is a little wiggly, but I'm just going to leave it there because, you know, that's the touch that separates me from AI, you know? Little things like that. Little details. AI would be like, I want perfect line weight. Not me. Not I, AI. We're gonna have her hair like kind of sitting up on him. Okay, and then we're on to the next guy. And we are doing all of this line work and everything on the same layer, so I gotta be a little careful. Just a little mindful. I could just fill this headband in, save myself time later. Okay, I'm gonna start with this dude's glasses this time because he's got some thick frames. So I really want those to stand out. Got some nice big square glasses. Perfect. Got a flyaway line right there. This is also my favorite thing about a digital caricature. Sometimes I don't stop my line on time. So on paper, I would have just covered that line up with his mustache, thankfully, because he has one. But since I'm being picky right now, just automatically, because I'm working digitally, I can erase it. We can erase marker when we're working digitally. We can't erase marker when we're working on paper face to face. We gotta just figure it out at that point. It's good to know both, but it's nice to have to be able to erase sometimes. Let's take that out. Now we go in with the rest of the face. I will say it's a little bit harder to see around my hand when I'm doing the jaw lines. I don't know what it is, but I find it easier to draw in my jaw lines on paper because I feel like I can see more. I feel as if I can see around my hand a little bit more, so I kind of know where I'm going. But digitally, it comes across a little bit more difficult to map out and get right on that first try. If I'm going this way, at least, because I'm right-handed. If I'm leading the other direction, totally fine. Like you saw me do that with the hat. But when I'm going down and to the right, I'm like, where's the pen going? I can't see. I am right-handed. Right-handed struggles. But I'm not going to say that being right-handed is a struggle because we're not the ones that were like being killed for the hand that we write with. So I can't say much about that. Can you believe that? How wild that that's actually a point in history. You're left-handed, you're a witch. Anyway, doing some facial hair. Gotta get the eyeballs in here. Easy peasy. And we can do his eyebrows. I'm gonna just do some really big chunky eyebrow strokes with the pen that I have. And then I might go in and kind of block out his glasses, like where the overlap is at. Preferably in white, not yellow, thank you. So the overlap would be happening right here. And that's gonna help bring his glasses out from the void. There we go. Kind of finish that line right there. Give him the sitting, the little handle for his glasses, and then we just gotta put in his shirt and his shoulders. Might give him a little Christmas tree on his shirt, just for funsies. Just a silly little shirt. We've got his lights on his hat. Since this is gonna get colored in, and now for the fur baby, for the pupper. Okay, so next up, puppy. I am going to do this on a new layer because, like I said, dog, different than person. But we're going to simplify this fur baby down as much as we can. I'm also really glad that we did color for this, that they ordered a color caricature, because coloring in the animals is always way more fun than doing the black and white. And so you'll see on the dog, I'm actually not going to close a lot of these lines. I'm going to leave it very open. I'm doing this on another layer so I can get their ears. I want both ears in this. The shape of their face is really what makes this type of dog stand out. So I want to be able to do this, kind of move them around, and make sure that we can actually see the whole puppy. Santa hat. And yeah, block in where some of the color changes are on the fur for the dog. Just some of them. And now we can take the sketch layer off entirely and we can color in. So for coloring, I'm going to be using this coarse marker. I believe this is a marker from a friend. Don't quite remember what pack it might be in. But it's a pack that like she shared with me. And to make things a little bit quicker for myself, I'm just going to do the draw and drop method to fill things in. And I always start with the base skin tone, and then I color on top of those. I kind of work like in a dark to light pattern with this. Coloring is definitely the fastest part of this process. As you can see, we're kind of moving along really steady now. Just blocking in the colors, and then we'll go back to the edges and like detail them out later. Uh-oh. Panic. Okay. That should work now. Yep. This brown's kind of funky. I'm gonna have to change this brown. Yeah, this is more of like a yellow, like a greenish brown. We don't want that. No, no, no. That's better. And the marker is going to be the brush that I just used to like block in colors. I'm going to be using a different brush to actually do like the details. Arm. I'm just going to give him the same type of colored shirt. So in my reference photo, he's got like a gray shirt. Do that here. We can give him like his little tree graphic. And I am doing this all on the same layer. Because if I were to break this all up into multiple layers, it's going to take me like hours to get done, rather than being able to just do it in like 1 hour of a sitting at most. But this video isn't an hour, so as you can see, it doesn't even take me an hour if I just commit to the bit and sit down and do it all. it only takes maybe 45 minutes if I'm being really picky. Okay. His hat is the same kind of colors. My boy matches. Love that for him. Gonna go in here. We can fix that corner later. The goal is just block, 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 block. Just block it all in. It's okay if it goes outside of the lines. Nobody cares. Because we can erase it later, but right now I'm not worried. And I want to block in the dog. Now for the dog, I'm actually just going to start with my detail brush. I'm not going to block in too much with that marker brush. Maybe the lightest part of their fur. Just like do a swatch in the middle for the lighter color of his fur. His chest has some dark fur, so now I'm going to switch to my fancy textured pencil brush. I'm going to use a textured brush on the fur. And I'm just going to like quickly switch between the colors and all that jazz. It's got dark spots on his face and around the eyes. And it's got the darker fur at the forehead and the ears. Again, come back in with the light color, bring some little fur strands inward. This is the part of the drawing where we get that really nice iPad ASMR tapping. Because that's all it is. We tapping away. I think my key thing with adding pets is that I will try to keep the overall look of the pet very simple and keep an eye out for like the main quirks that the pet might have. So in this picture that they gave me, this puppy is sticking their tongue all the way out. So that's what I'm going to focus on, because that means they're probably doing this all the time. Just big ol' smiling for the picture. My iPad is literally charging. What do you mean? Low battery. My iPad's literally plugged in and it wants to be like, I have a low battery. And it has a blue bone collar. So that's another little key thing that we can look for. Are there collars when we're trying to keep things simple and quick? Go back to my marker, fill this hat in. Color that, and then our dog is done. I'm leaving the dog alone. Go back to the left, and I just kind of work counterclockwise at least as of right now. That's what I'm doing. Go back in on the skin tones, add the details and stuff. I will use the painterly approach where I will make the top of the head, I will like throw some yellow in there. The middle of the face always has the most pink. And then the bottom of the face is what's the most like cool. The degree in which I do this always is going to depend just, you know, on the face that I'm drawing. But we've got some rosy cheeks in this picture, and I'm always happy to oblige when it comes to that. Just got a little bit of makeup, so I'm going to go in with that. I definitely try to honor what it looks like to be coloring in traditionally, so I really don't want to make it perfect. Because I think that is where my digital caricatures are really going to actually look like caricatures, is when I'm really trying to mimic how they look on paper. Her lipstick is a little bit brighter. And I am using my like textured type of pencil brush that I like for this coloring phase. Yeah, so little spots around the hair, like if I color outside of the lines, I'm really not going to worry about fixing that too much because it's going to look more like hair anyway, so I'm okay with that. And then my favorite thing about this brush is actually going in and adding the hair textures because it does look a lot like hair, so that's the fun part. Go in here. I think the trickiest thing about doing digital caricatures from photos is definitely the lighting and trying to get the right colors of their hair or their eyes and things out of the lighting. I think this picture also has a filter on it, which is not bad. I just don't recommend it. But it's not like a crazy filter. I can still see what's going on, so it's fine. But it does bring up some challenges because even in person, when it's dark and my lighting is kind of garbage, I'll be like, so are your eyes blue or green? Like I have to clarify sometimes. But overall, she's got dark brown hair, so but I could see some highlights in it. So there we go. She got dark brown hair. We got some highlights in there. And then I'm just gonna do some finishing touches with some shadows under the neck. Just a little bit of extra depth. Again, all things that I would add on a normal caricature. As in on paper. A little bit of shadow here. Maybe a quick little shadow under the headband. The back of the hair. And then we'll just clean up these edges here. And she will be all good to go. Clean up these edges. I'll pretty much just clean up the edges that are like really obvious. But if there's really tiny spots where the lines are kind of outside, like up here, this is kind of intentional, I tend to just leave those be. Clean up this guy's shirt. And since his shirt is pretty much done, oh, I've got a flyaway up here. Don't know, it's the dog layer. Yippee. Since his shirt is pretty much like set in stone, I'm gonna lasso tool around his face to save myself the trouble while I color in his face. Just to speed things along a little bit quicker. We've got some rosy cheeks on this guy too. So we're gonna get same strategy, pink in the middle of the face, a little bit more of a yellow tone at the top of the head. We're gonna just blend that all in. And I think I'm gonna add some of this. He's got some pink at the chin as well. I'm gonna use this as his lip color. Color in the teeth. And then what I want to be able to do is literally just like swatch in the beard as much as possible. So swatch, swatch, swatch. Same with the stash. And then he's got thinner hair at the bottom here. So this is where we get the iPad ASMR. I'm gonna tap the rest of the lines. And then I'm going to come back in and expose more of the chin here. Get the eyes. Cool, and then all that we have left are the little things, so like these lights. Keep it simple. We're gonna make them yellow. We're gonna do a little glowing effect on them. Easiest glowing effect possible. You color the middle white, you outline the white with the color that you want, and then you hit it with a little bit of a blend on the edges. And you've got a glow. No glow brush needed. Fix that edge. So this would be an obvious overkill of an edge that I clean up. This is kind of small, but it's bugging me, so I'll clean that up. And then this right here is affecting the shape of the hat, so I'm going to clean that up. Clean up the ear. These edges are a little more intentional. I'm going to leave some of it. Clean this up down here. And I'll clean up his arm. And then all that's left is signing and throwing in some color in the back. I'll usually just do like a light color. Some swatches. All the same type of thing that I would do on paper. IRL. And then we just gotta sign it. Use a simple little round pen. Sign right down here in the corner. Put the year. And my Instagram. And there you go. Digital caricature. Easy peasy. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, remember that you are loved and you can draw a stick figure. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.